What's going on YouTube? Trucking and Life here one more time, guys. Guys and girls and girls and girls. Yeah. Anyway, guys, today's video, guys, is gonna be about another episode of Truckernomics. For those of you who want to come by just to kind of check out the more business side of things, you know, besides just running around with rail yards and all that stuff, you guys should check out these episodes. I'm gonna try to drop them every week. One live or at least one pre-recorded a week. We'll see how it go. I gotta stop putting my foot in my mouth, man. I be putting my foot in my mouth a lot, guys, but I'm getting better at it. But anyway, I digress. You know something? You know what I was thinking? I hear a lot of guys, they want to own operators. They you know, the first thing they want to do is they don't even know what they want to do. That's the first thing. They don't know what they want to do with their truck. All they want to know is they want to make more money and become an owner operator or whatever, right? So I tell guys when they go do it, you know, get your feet wet first. This is my opinion. You can do what you want to do with it, but this is my opinion. Get your feet wet first and like lease onto a company first, right? Now, when you lease onto a company, you gotta understand something. There's things that come along with that. Just like if you had your own authority, same thing. You gotta know the do's and the don'ts. You know, you gotta know the rules of the game to play the game right? So you gotta understand something, guys. When you lease onto a company, at the end of the day, it's about making a profit, making your donuts, and doing what you set out to accomplish, right? So here's a couple things I would say you have to watch out for when you lease onto a company that you might face. I don't know who you are, what you're about, but these are things you might face when you lease onto a company, guys. One thing you understand is you're gonna deal with favorites, you're gonna deal with discrimination, you're gonna deal with all that stuff when it comes to it. Regardless of who you are, how hard you work, and all that good stuff. You got some companies that got culture, and sometimes the culture is so embedded, well, no matter what you do, you ain't changing the culture. And you just, even though you thinking you're going there just to make money and just get out, but apparently other people don't feel the same way you feel. So you gotta move accordingly when you lease onto certain companies. You also gotta be mindful too. Here's the thing. I think when guys, when they lease onto companies, I don't think they realize exactly what they're getting themselves into. Like as far as like how to really run a truck. When I say that, this is what I mean. In case you guys don't know, if you're new to the channel, welcome. But your boy got an academy going on, so want to find out details on how to get to the academy, what the academy's about, check out the webinar. It'll be in the description below. Just check it out when you get time. No hard feelings, no foul. What I mean is, you got your magic number. I'll explain what that is. Like I said, it's in the academy what your magic number is. So you know what you're going, you know what you're shooting for pretty much when you go to work as an owner operator or company driver. So let's just say you with a company. They say before you get with them, you actually applying to be with them, and you hear things about, man, they got a lot of work. But here's the thing, they may have a lot of work, but their pay is not the highest. It's not the most top rated pay in the world. But here's the thing, this is how you can make that work. You gotta look at the consistency factor. Now granted, if the work don't pay that much, but they got more consistent freight, when other people are slow, they probably busy, they probably steady. They're not super slow, but they're not super busy, but they steady. Versus a big drop, versus big dips and drops, which I'll get to on my next point. So, but they steady, so you can still make your money, but you gotta hustle. You gotta know how to run your loads. You gotta know how to make decisions on the fly. You gotta know how to match up loads, because you cannot just let a company dispatch you the way they want to all the time. They may give you, let's say they give you a bunch of options of what to do for that day. You gotta know what this makes sense for you to be able to do. Let's say they give you 5 loads for that day, but you look at the time of day, the appointment time for this load, appointment time for that load, what load going, location, and all that stuff. You realize it's rush hour, or it may be time for, you know, bad time to go in that area of that day. You know the other 2 loads ain't getting done, or the 3 loads ain't getting done. So you got all that work on the board, but you can't accomplish it because you know as the driver, if you've been doing it a while, you know you can't do that, or you ain't gonna be able to do it. One thing is you can't let them run your truck like they want to run it. They give you options. You make the decision, okay, I better do this, I better do this, I can't do that. Sometimes I explain to this person why I can't do it. You know, it's just called communication, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so you may have a company that has a lot of work, but it won't be as like, it won't pay the greatest, but it'll be more consistent. So you gotta factor in how to work your truck to make them numbers work for you to reach your magic number at the end of the day. Now some people may say, well, I don't have to work that hard. Then that's cool. Then you gotta deal with I ain't gonna say it's a problem, but you gotta deal with the second possible situation is you go with a company, they raise it super high compared to the other companies that you dealt with, but their work is not as consistent. So they may be a smaller company. One thing I found out too over the time, some companies that's smaller, sometimes they pay better because they don't have as much overhead as a mega company or mega carrier. But they also too don't have as much freight either because they're so small. So now you got to figure out this company pays a lot more per load, but it's like spurts. You may have like a week of like high paying loads, good paying money. The next week it might be kind of like 1-2 loads here, load there, load here. I mean, it's steady, but it ain't like it's cracking like it was the week before. So you have a bunch of highs, a bunch of lows. It ain't even no middle. It's like high, low, high, low, 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 low. You don't know because it's just so up and down. So you figure, man, the money's good, but it ain't consistent enough. So by the time you finally make all that good, the decent money you made, based on the following week that came after that, or 2 weeks that came after that, where your money wasn't so good, the money you made from the first week actually start pulling from the money that you made from the 2 weeks before, because you made decent money that week, but the other 2 weeks was kind of slow. You gotta take this money and use it as filler money because that money is slow. So now you gotta fill it in. So if you average it out, it's kind of like you would do an average, but like I say, when the loads may pay better, at one point that don't necessarily mean it's better. You gotta understand the longevity, consistency, how volatile is it. Trucking is always volatile as it is, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you is with a company, they got a bunch of freight and it's consistent, but it pays less. You're gonna have volatility with that too, but you ain't gonna have as much because it's more consistent, but they more established. Now, granted, and still, like I say, if you want to listen to a company, you gotta factor in too that it ain't always the company that's pulling the strings on how you're able to make it or not doing what you do. This is what I mean. Remember earlier I told you may face discrimination and or favoritism and all that stuff? Well, some companies, the owners don't know what's going on at the bottom. They delegate the responsibilities, so that way the people at the bottom be able to do their job. That's what CEOs do. They delegate responsibilities, put lower management, middle management in place. It's a buffer between them and the work, but they still close enough to understand what's going on, but they're not far away where they don't understand what's going on at all. But that's sort of probably gotta get real bad before it reaches the CEO or the higher ups, I say, right? So then you got I call it the foot soldiers. You got the foot soldiers at the bottom, like the dispatchers, the planners, and all that stuff. They may be doing their own thing, man. They may not like you for some reason. They may feel like you remind them of some random person they had a problem with in the past. You don't know. So what I'm saying is it has a personal touch to it. So the person that's dishing out the work to you, they can see the board. You can't. So in that case, you don't know what you're getting. All you know is you're getting some crazy work and you're trying to make your number. You can't make it because it ain't because of the company per se. It may be because of the foot soldiers in a way. I say that. Then you might say, man, what's the purpose of leasing onto a company? Well, there's a lot of reasons for leasing onto a company, because you don't want the overhead of handling all the paperwork yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go up and fish for your loads every single day like on the board and like that. But it has its downsides too. So I'm just saying, you listen onto a company, you might face this, high highs and low lows, man. I keep saying it all over again. Trucking is very volatile, man. You got to find out what really works for you. That position or that company, when you actually can make a nice amount of money in 1 week, and the next 2 weeks you probably drop down. If you was in the right position and you leverage your time and your resources right, that actually could work for you. Let's say you working so much per week. You work so hard this week right here, and next week, you know what, man, I don't want to work like this all the time, man. You know, the money was good, but I was really hustling. So therefore, I'm finna just keep on hustling. It's a never-ending rat race, man. So if your money was right, your resources was right, and your mind was right, and your time was right, when work slow down, you can actually take care of other things while you still driving, making some money. You know what I'm saying? You ain't making all the money like you did the week before or the couple weeks before. It's just an example, you know what I'm saying? You can still make some money and still be able to take care of the business too, because you ain't working as much because it's kind of slow. That all boils down to you, what decisions you want to make and how you make your decision of your life. But I told you guys, your life is a business, man. Treat it like one, man. So when things get good, don't spend it all. When things get kind of steady, don't spend it all, but try to take out that time and take care of business you didn't have time to take care of before because you was working so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of us ain't in that position, but I'm just saying. But anyway, YouTube, this is my Truckernomics episode this week, guys. All I'm saying is, watch out what you're doing, man. Whatever you're doing, ain't no right or wrong. Just do it and live with it. If it ain't working, change your decision. Make another decision. Choose something else, you know? Anyway, all right, YouTube. Hope this video is helpful. Give you a little understand what's going on trip. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.